Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. I want to say thank you for actually hit 2,000 subscribers. Honestly, never thought I would get that many, but I'm very thankful for that. Um, so I will be releasing another video this week. I'm actually gonna get it done. We're gonna do like a little bit of maybe a coaster giveaway or like an 8x8 or something. I don't know yet. Actually, I have a bunch of this stuff getting stacked up in my painting room right now in terms of all the coasters I've done and some of the paintings that I've done. And some of them you haven't even seen yet. But there's that. With the what else is there? There's with this video, it's a little bit longer than normal. For the most part, for the reason of that is just because I kind of slowed it down, or I didn't really slow it down, but I brought you down closer. I messed with my camera holders, all that junk, and that way you can kind of see the blowout with my colors tonight. It is actually golden magenta, Windsor blue, like a golden iridescent gold, um, red violet, or Australian red violet. It's a big difference, trust me. Lemon Sorbet by TLP. And my cell activator is black. So now that you know my colors and everything else, yeah, with this one, I slowed it down so you can see the blowout and the process. And also, I'm going to try to tell you a little bit what goes through my mind whenever, like after I blow it out, like when I'm looking at something. Um, so for the first one, I'm going to try to do a little circle swipe thing with this one. Just, I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Um, but also, I don't know if you've done hexagon tiles, at least for me, they're a lot harder to do than, say, circle tiles or circles or squares. Those are easy to do. But these 6 corners with this technique, they can be your worst enemy. Um, so I'll share my little tricks for me at least. So here we are. I'm looking at this. Let's just be honest. I don't like it. So it's going to happen. I'm not even going to spin it out. But it looks so much easier when people are doing it like on the TikToks or just videos with people doing little circle swipes. It looks so much easier than what it is. Why is that? And I know probably some of you think the same thing with some of the stuff that I do in terms of like these blooms, but not everything is fun and games. Or, well, I don't know about that, but not everything's very easy. I will say that. Um, I did do a poll I posted, I don't know, probably a week ago about what kind of content you all would like to see. So far, pearl pours are winning. If you are one of those people that did choose that, got a question for you because I didn't put it in the poll. What type of pearls? The ones with the satin enamels, or just the regular extreme sheen pearl pour type things? So if you are one of those people, leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. If not, I'll probably do both if I can find some satin enamel. I didn't buy it when I saw it at Michael's the other day, so maybe I'll have to go back and get it. Um, so back to the hexagon tiles. The reason why they can be a pain is just because like I said, the corners. There's 6 of them, right? So, for instance, before you spin it out, they tend to leave bubbles a little bit more than squares do. At least in my viewpoint is they leave bubbles on the edges whenever the paint bleeds off. I don't know why, but I distinctly remember that with the hexagons. Also with these, whenever it comes to squares or even circles or anything like that, it's a lot easier to manage dealing with 4 squares, or not 4 squares, but 4 corners. And With this one, those two extra corners can make or break you. So I always have to add a lot more paint on these just to cover it the way that I want it to get covered. Um, so that's another thing. Also, after you do the like blowout, like here's the blowout, you kind of blow directly on the puddle of your cell activator downward first, and then you try to make like a bigger puddle, and then you kind of swoop in and out, and just constantly do that. And then if any of these big puddles or like veins that are black or whatever color your cell activator is, if you have some bigger ones, you want to try to blow on those with the consistency, or not consistency, but just consistent in terms of this pressure you're putting on it. And hopefully you can make a cell pop up. If you do, you probably want to hold that type of pressure, I guess, that you're blowing on it. Don't know how to explain it, but sometimes you have to keep blowing on it just to allow the cell to open up. Otherwise, sometimes the cell activator, depending on how much is there, it'll close, and you'll be back to step one again, trying to get one to open up. With this one, only that's that one part right there I don't like. It's the cell activator and one black blob. But I'm going to leave it. We're going to just roll with that one. I mean, it's my first one. And typically after, it takes about one or two of these before that muscle memory kicks in for me in terms of dealing with these shapes. So there's that one. Here's the next one. I didn't get lucky. I see a bird right here, right? This is honestly what I see. But I don't like it. A bird or a bat. But I don't like it. It's too much black. It doesn't look good to me. The top part of it looks wonderful. Love the top part. But I already knew that was going to happen. Just the way with the blowout and the paint that was left on there, because I didn't put much base paint. And I just wanted to show you, not every one of them turns out the way I like it. And I know there's probably some of you thought it looked wonderful, and I mean, I agree, but I guess I have a bit of a painting problem. So again, gonna go with my colors, gonna keep going. Something that always comes up for me with these is, so after you blow it out and you're looking at it, and you kind of have to view it in terms of how much base paint is on one side, or like if you're trying to go to a corner, or if you want to, after you blow it out, that sometimes you have those rings, it just depends on your blowout, right? And you want to minimize I guess the dead space, the no cell space, or just trying to bleed it off. You got to think about it and look at it, and you got to tilt it strategically, I guess, due to the fact of the way these cells operate. Because if you start tilting, I'm sure if you've tilted these before, your cells can get all messed up. They can get wonky and get, my viewpoint, sometimes they can get ugly. And I've been there, I've done it. So like with this one, like I love the bottom of it right now. Even the other side, like I love the way it looks. Just that one on the left side, it didn't, I couldn't get it blown out far enough. So I'm going to, when I look at it, see, like I have like 1, 2, 3, I have like 3 corners out of the 6 for the most part. So I'm going to tilt it a little bit towards me, or the left side, and I'm going to try to bleed off some of that. Like, this is what, normally I cut this stuff out. I just go straight to the spin. But I'm going to bleed it over, tilt it towards me, try to bring those cells kind of in the right direction of the, what I call dead space, or, the space that wasn't covered. So if I get it, I'm bleeding it off, and then you want to kind of tilt it a little bit center before you do that, and then you spin it. 1 or 2 spins from now, and look, it's a full, it covers the whole thing. And I'm happy with that. I love the way it looked. Now, those 2 spots with the extra black, I can live with that. Really can. Because to me, this looks great. So here you are. Show you a look. Don't worry about it. I will, just like any other video, I will do a closer look of it at the end of it. Alright, so I'm going to put on a little bit of music. I will come back a little bit later. But let's just see if you can point out, or not point out, but see if you see any of those things I've talked about in terms of, you know, how I view it after I blow them out and so forth. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I'm back. Well, I hope you learned something, or you could take away something. I mean, if you do have any questions that I may have not answered, or if you're just curious and have a question about something when it comes to this technique or any other technique that I typically do on my channel, just leave a comment. I do try to answer them to my best ability. Best thing for me to tell you, just don't be afraid to throw down some paint and throw down some cell activator and just blow it out. Have fun with it. This is all what this is about. It's just having fun. Just an outlet from everyday life, right? And I will say this, that whenever I first started this technique, I wanted to conserve, or I wanted to save as much of the paint as I could save, because I mean, the Australian Floetrol costs so much, and then, you know, here in the States they discontinued certain products, and it's just been a nightmare when it comes to products in the States, it seems. So just have fun with it, and don't be afraid to use a lot of paint if it's necessary. And again, just what I've been trying to point at on here is there's those two corners that I'm going to try to tilt this to the best of my ability in terms of not losing as many cells, but yet trying to maximize coverage whenever I spin it to have the most cells. But I can't tilt too much, because you start tilting too much, it can mess up them cells. I really don't want to spin this one, but I'm going to spin it anyway because I want those two corners to be covered. But let's be honest, I'm going to leave it alone. That doesn't happen often. Normally I keep fiddling with it and spinning until I mess it up sometimes. So I'm leaving it alone and living with those two corners right there. So needless to say, I think these turned out so wonderful. I can't wait to put epoxy on them. But again, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I would appreciate that. And stay tuned to hopefully the video of this week about doing a coaster giveaway or doing some type of giveaway. So anyway, take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.